Hi, welcome everybody. This is the Vice Press Open Channel, episode 2, and today we're going to talk about some John Carpenter movies. I have the crew back together. We're all assembled. Top left, we got James from Vice Press, co-founder. We got Matt, obviously, on the right top. And then next to me on the left is Flory. How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh boy. Yep, good.
Yeah,
good,
really
good.
good. Cheers, Tom.
Yeah,
How are you, man?
I'm good.
Yeah, I can't complain. Can't complain. It's been not that far ago that we started this whole endeavor, and it turned out pretty well, the first episode. So thank you, everybody, for coming out for our live show, doing this. And this is kind of semi-live this time, so ask your questions in the chat if you have some more that we probably not answer. We try to get to them afterwards, of course, as well, or in the comments, so just let us know. And yeah, today we are going to look at some of the art that you kind of did before, Matt, but there's also some more with Flory we're going to talk about later. But you made some quads. When was it? 2017, if I'm correct, or
was it 2017?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Was
it that long ago?
Whoa, time has
It
flown.
was 2018. So yeah, I think
I
you might
made
be right,
the
Tom.
I made the They Live and the Escape from New York earlier, didn't I? Slightly different.
Yeah,
And then I refreshed them for the re-release.
That was for the quad release you did
Yeah.
with Bottleneck, then, right?
Vice Press.
Was it Vice Press? I thought it was via Bottleneck, but I'm
Well,
sure.
the art was done for Studio Canal for the 4K remasters, and they were the sort of key art that they used in cinemas and all that sort of stuff. And then we released them for sale as well.
Yeah, that's cool. James, how did this all happen? How did you put this deal to the paper, basically?
That's a good question. So yeah, I think like Matt mentioned, They Live was one of the first film posters that we released at Thought Bubble. The very first Thought Bubble that we did, God, I can't remember, that was 2016, 2017. Matt had done the Escape from New York for Grey Matter art, and then he was asked to do the 4K re-release stuff that you mentioned a moment ago. And then we kind of decided when Studio Canal asked Matt and us whether we were kind of cool with doing the 4K re-release, we kind of asked them, well, yeah, that's no problem at all. How about we also release them as quad timed edition prints at the same time? There was a new one for The Fog. There was a new one for Prince of Darkness. We worked with Grey Matter art as well, and we did the Escape from New York. We went back to They Live, and we kind of formatted them all into one cohesive, coherent set, and we released those as a quad. Either January 2019 or January 2018. It was a January. I think it was 2019 because we were in the.
I don't know. I feel like it was 2018.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it could be. I mean, it was in what, the office that we've just moved out.
What are we now?
of.
Are we 2020?
2020.
Yeah, that's what people are saying.
I can't remember. So yeah. So
Okay, could be. Yeah, I don't know.
Because the quads were a timed edition, we thought that and a lot of people bought those, and a lot of the comments that we got were that folks really liked them, but they wanted smaller versions of them. So because they weren't limited edition, they were a timed edition, we kind of felt that it was appropriate and cool that we kind of look at re-releasing them as this A2 series set as part of Vice Press Edition. So Matt rejigged all the artwork again, reformatted it, and that's where the artwork is now. We spoke to Studio Canal. They were fully on board. They're really cool over there with regards to stuff like this. And that's what leads us to the set that you're going to see floating around your screens in a minute.
Exactly. Before we get into them, I wanted to know, who is the biggest John Carpenter fan of you three?
Me.
Matt? Okay.
Easily, Matt.
Easy.
But I'd fight him for it.
You fought him for it?
Yeah,
on specific films, though. On specific films.
Okay, I thought...
Yeah, you love Halloween, don't you? You like Halloween more than me.
I love Halloween and The Thing, like almost too much.
Well,
So those
okay.
are infinitely rewatchable films. Yeah, you're a
All right, before we're going to go there, I have also a different favorite movie of John Carpenter's, but yeah, we will get into it later. But
Okay.
I was wondering,
Big Trouble, I reckon.
I was wondering if we're going to do a little movie trivia showdown here in terms of John Carpenter, but I guess that is a little spontaneous now. But
It's 7 a.m.
Exactly. Flory draw the short straw again here, and it's very early, and for us it's late-ish. But yeah.
I'm drinking, so
yeah. Let us move into the first movie, and the first movie is going to be Escape from New York, which is definitely up there with my favorite John Carpenter movies. And what was the idea behind this version of the poster?
Well, the original poster and a lot of John Carpenter posters are very dark and black, moody. And I wanted to do some a unified style for posters at the time when I did that, where I had a light border and a bit of different kind of graphic design, kind of like old school 70s posters a little bit ish in my style. So that's where that sprung from, and then just throwing in cool stuff from the movie,
Yeah, but why no Dutch angle? We're never in doubt, huh?
When I did that, I don't think I was doing many Dutch angles really at that point.
No, I think it predated those, didn't it? Quite a while.
It's totally bonkers that you said these in 2018. These can't be no, 2.5 years old.
New York older. It's older Escape from New York because I did it with Grey Matter Art. Let me just have a look.
Yeah, while we're having a look, I was wondering, how would you, James? How would you rate the movie from 0 to 10?
Escape from New York.
2016.
Is that when you did Escape from New York?
Yeah.
2016. Wow. How would I rate? I'd say a 7. 7 out of 10. Is that fair?
That's not one of yours, is it, Jim?
What, Escape from New York?
Man, it's not really
You're
one
not
of yours,
that huge on Carpenter either, really.
No, so I mean, my kind of, so there's certain John Carpenter films I love and I've known for a long time. So The Thing, I've known of, oh god, yeah, that's kind of been a favorite for a while. But I'd not seen Escape from New York, They Live, Prince of Darkness before we did this series.
Some research.
They Live is easily
unbelievable. I know. I remember just being what?
Yeah. You
can give relentlessly until you watch them.
People get points on not seeing Prince of Darkness and stuff, I think, because you actually have to try to watch that film. Where the hell do you can't, it's not just floating around, there's no blockbuster to run into it.
It's not a cult. It's not a cult one, is it? It's a really obscure one, really.
It's a cult, it's the offshoot of the cult that lives in the even weirder barn next door,
Yeah.
It's just really bizarre, isn't it? I think, because I mean, there's loads of bizarre kind of films that I like and weird films and I think there's always films that perhaps are cult classics and cult favorites that you just for some reason just don't see. I think I was my mid-20s before I saw stuff like Raging Bull, and that stuff.
I've never seen Raging Bull.
I've never seen it either.
Well,
but then it's
we're too busy watching Prince of Darkness.
Guys, this is a big. I don't think I've ever told anyone. I've never seen The Godfather.
Okay, I think we gotta stop here now. Bye, guys. Bye. Okay.
But then it's Godfather 2. Because when you start to look at obscure films, so all the John Carpenter films that I've seen since we started to do them, I love them, and all the films I had seen prior, I really, really like. But then there's weird kind of films, obscure films that nobody would be even aware of that kind of I like and things. So it just depends what your wheelhouse is, and I think it's kind of cool, even in your mid-30s, that you can kind of find films that become favorites, and that's part of the fun, is discovering new stuff, even when you're later on in life, when you're not a kid anymore.
I just watched was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I just watched Mashes of the Afternoon, which is a movie from 1943, I think, and it's a short film, 15 minutes or so, and it's supposed to be one of the classics in terms of for directors and stuff like that. And it's this weird film. I mean, it was interesting, but I wasn't for me, I have to say, but interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Just as a quick question on that thing, just as a bit of an aside, because it's a question that's along that kind of topic. What would you say is this is to all three of you, what would you say is your favorite film that you think is obscure? So an obscure film that you really like that perhaps most folks haven't seen.
I mean, it's not obscure, but I would say Metropolis, since it's like that old film and not a lot of people want to watch it.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen
Fritz Lang. Yeah,
very good.
He Got Game, probably.
That's obscure movie for you?
I've never seen He Got Game, but I've heard of it.
It's one of my favorite movies up there.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Is it one of your favorites as well, Tom? Oh,
I know what mine is. It's a very recent film.
Which one?
Leave No Trace.
Okay. Yeah.
I've not heard that.
Leave No Trace is like as close to perfect you can get, like in terms of the script and the directing. It's one of those that's just so perfectly formed. It's a brilliant movie. It's about this father and daughter, and they live off the grid in the woods. Yeah. And
it was a good one.
Honestly, it's brilliant. Really, really good.
Nothing's striking me like right now, but it's weird because I think it's kind of what's obscure. It kind of is dictated as well by what you grew up and how you got your films. Because like I would.
You don't have films from Australia, do you?
Yeah, nah, mate, none of that. It's just Mad Max 1, Mad Max 2, Mad Max 3. Nah. But like wandering into, I would just go, as a kid, I would just go into the Blockbuster and go to the cult section, which was like one bit, and you would go, ooh, like what's that? Oh yeah, there's green stuff coming out of this guy. I'll get that, or whatever, like, stuff like that. But growing up, like I went and bought the when I first got a job, I tracked down the box set of all the Nightmare on Elm Street films, and it's still over there somewhere. And it cost me a fortune, and like because you just couldn't get a big nice box of those films here, so I went and imported it and all that sort of stuff. And people were like, "What are you watching those for?" Like, I've never seen any of those. I was like, "Who are they?" Like, partly it's like people that you're hanging around with that dictates what is weird. Yeah. Like, but I'd say something like Suspiria or something like that. Growing up watching that and just being like, "The fuck are all these colors?" And like, this is mental.
But the movie I didn't like particularly loved, but I've seen, which is obscure, is Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh
yeah. You can't love that film. If someone loves that film, there's something wrong with them.
Yeah, it's not.
You can't enjoy it either, but you can appreciate what it is and what it's doing. But I don't think you can like enjoy that film.
It kind of, Florey, you said it. It's kind of dictated by what you grew up around. I remember when I was at school, like Evil Dead 2 was one kid had a copy of Evil Dead 2, and that did the rounds with everybody borrowing that on VHS. And then like when I was 12, 13, I started doing a paper round at the post office, and they had a video rental section, and they let us kind of take whatever we wanted and borrow it. And I think, I watched Existence with a Z on the end.
Existence.
Can anyone remember that?
Yeah. Very German. Very German.
Yeah, Jude Law. Yeah. Yeah, it was terrible, but it was kind of fun. But anyway, sorry, I digress.
It's like the lesser Cronenberg film, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not.
Has he got the weird gun? Is that the one with like?
Yeah. It's like a Geiger kind of HR Geiger kind of designed aesthetic-y thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's not as icky as a lot of his other films, though.
Yeah, but yeah, there's definitely some weird films out there that people have seen, and there's what are you pointing to? Was it The Fly?
Yeah. The Fly. Yeah. That film, honestly, I watched that too young, and it just freaked me out so much. Yeah. Just beyond belief, it freaked me out.
His fucking face falls off.
Yeah.
Just all of it.
God. Yeah, but let us get back to the great movies that we are talking about today. And I want to get back to Escape from New York, because Florey, you did some really cool pins for it. There's a lot of them going around. Why did you pick what you picked?
Do you remember last time when we were saying, "Oh, how many pins do you think you've done?" And I said, hundreds. I think 100 of them are just just for this one. Just for this one collection. But no, it's just as with most things, chatting with Matt, like what does he want to pull out of it? Does he have any ideas? What do I want to pull out of it? Do I have any ideas? There's actually I think this whole thing was a little bit trickier than some films, because I don't know, there's not a lot of, I think his films are a lot about vibe and mood, and like, yes, they have some cool visual design and some cool visual elements, but a lot of it is not about that, and can be a little bit shit, but it just works because the whole thing gels somehow. I think that's his greatest strength, is just making everything gel for like no money, and we just go. So to pull little things out was tricky, and we had a few I think that didn't work. Like there was some stuff we wanted to do that I just couldn't figure out how to make it a pin. Coming back to last time, I said I can make anything a pin. And it doesn't always work, but yeah. So what have we got? We got like the radar thing and like the little life clock. So all that stuff's pretty cool. Yeah, just picking out fun, cool things, and also what would make a good set, because I think some of them are 2-packs.
Exactly, they come in.
The title, I was like, I remember saying that would put.
Yeah, we have
the Italian.
We have one pack where it has the Escape from New York, obviously, and the USPF logo with the eagle.
Yeah, that's
which is pretty cool. But I think my favorite is still the pack with 1997 Fuga to New York and the watch.
Yes!
The watch, obviously.
I insisted on that. I insisted on the Italian title because it's awesome.
There were debates about that. I think the other one.
What is it in German? It's like
Flucht aus. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. But the Die Klapperschlange, Snake Plissken. That's why. Yeah.
It's just like.
Yeah, exactly. The rattlesnake.
It's like one of the coolest names that have ever been.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's.
We had so much back and forth about that map design as well. I remember.
Yeah.
All three of us were kind of not falling out, but had disagreements about how that should look.
It's how to shrink it down. That was the problem, wasn't it? Because it's actually quite small details, and you had to balance out.
Yeah. What can you take out? What can you take out? What can you minimize? Like, what can we lose altogether, but still have it read as, oh, that's the little thing from the start of the film? Because if you look at it, it doesn't look exactly like that. I think even parts of the geometry of like the Manhattan and stuff like that, I just straightened them up wholesale, because it's what, an inch I think across.
Yeah.
You really can't go much. You can't put too much in there, or else it's just going to look like squiggly wiggly, and you lose those straight bits and angles and stuff.
We do have like with pins, we try to keep no bigger than an inch. Just because otherwise it just becomes too bulky. And
Matt just doesn't like it, and he won't let me make him any bigger.
By the way, how did you like the second part, Escape from LA?
I saw that in the cinema.
When did that came out? 97?
As well, whenever 1996. Yeah. So I'd probably seen the first one on a VHS at someone's house, because I would have been what. I'm at 84, kids. How old would I have been then?
Well, was it 88 or was it 82? Was it 88 or 82 when the first one came out?
13 or so, something.
Yeah, so I was
early.
Yeah, I was early teens anyway. So I've seen the original on VHS a couple of times, and I was like, yeah, all right, this will be sick. And you get in there and you're just like, hang on a sec, have I seen this film? Is this as bad as, are they playing it's literally like a shit remake of the first one with too much money. That's the problem. He had too much money.
Yeah, it was called LA though.
It's like a studio
Yeah,
one,
this studio one, and it's just fuck, that movie sucks ass.
Hey, elements of it have aged quite well. Bruce Campbell.
Not the surfing.
I totally forgot about that.
Crazy plastic surgeon. He's really cool.
Yeah. That's kind of cool, but it's over the top.
The basketball thing is shit.
Yeah. The thing I don't like about it is it doesn't fit with the vibe. It doesn't have the same vibe as the first one. We get a lot of sequels, like they fall into that, but I don't know. It just feels goofier and bigger in some way. Which the goofiness in the first one, of which there is a fair bit, that's what makes it work. I think
play it more straight in the first one, though, don't they?
Yeah, and there's a balance of the straight and the goofy, whereas the coming in with Bruce Campbell going and all this sort of gear, it doesn't. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't.
It was in his decline at that point, wasn't it?
Yes. Which is sad to say. Maybe he should have just stopped then and made only music, because like all those albums and stuff he does is sick.
Yeah. But also, that's not all we have for Escape from New York, and we also have something for the coin collectors who want to impress some girls with those great coins that you do as well, Flory, right?
Yes.
So,
I really enjoy doing coins. I think that I probably like doing them more than the pins now that we've kind of jumped into it. I've done a few for Bottleneck as well, and I think the first one I did was just for myself for a Kickstarter thing that I did. I just really like I like having that two-sided thing that you can sort of play off, and the two sides kind of dictates where the idea goes, like playing off each thing and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and what's the size and the dimensions of all of these? James, I
think they're 1.25 inch across of the coins.
And and you told me, James, when we were talking like a couple of weeks back, that the coin collectors, that's a big thing in the community.
Yeah, it seems to be. It's kind of something that snuck up on us a bit. Like, we were talking about it ages ago, me and Matt, because again, when I was a kid, I used to collect Pogs and Tazos and the kind of slammers.
Every time.
And do I? This is the story I run over.
Tazos, I used to go crazy for Tazos.
Loved them.
Used to get me packets of crisps.
So we were talking about that whole kind of Star Wars Tazo pack, and we liked the idea of kind of doing the metal coins and building them up so we could create a portfolio so people could collect them and bang them in, and which is still something we might do in the end. And so the coins was something we wanted to dive into, because there's some cool ones out there that, you know, like some of the companies that do Jaws and Jurassic Park ones and things like that. So we just thought it'd be cool to do some in-world ones, but rather than being a commemorative coin, 30th anniversary of Jaws or Jurassic Park, we wanted to do something that was a little bit more in-world, that was more of a kind of more kind of like semi-prop, but same kind of theme, I guess, as the pin badges, where it was just a cool image, but kind of played off the idea of it being a coin. Flory did a really good job. His Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ones are amazing, and his Two-Face one that he did for Bottleneck as well. So we kind of just wanted to continue with that, just something substantial as well.
Yeah, I think I like to make the coin that even if we did make a commemorative coin, I think one of them is sort of semi-commemorative, like it's in world commemorative. But if I was to do that, I wouldn't do it as it should be done, if that makes sense. I'd do it my way, and they end up kind of a little bit different anyway.
I did the Thanos flip coin.
You did,
yeah.
Yes, and we did the Iron Man too, yeah.
And then you did the Iron Man one. That sort of led into this.
Yeah.
We had the Two-Face one at the same time.
Which one would you rather have, gold or silver?
Well, it depends on which coin.
It depends on which coin. Okay.
In my mind, they each have a color, and then there is.
Let's talk about Escape from New York one, gold or silver?
Silver.
Definitely silver, yeah.
Right, there it is.
Silver.
There you have it, people. So, everybody out there, you've seen the great work these artists and James, as the boss of things, did.
The nothing can happen without the James, though. We don't
James
get to do any of the art.
James is the guy that's like, I like Tazos. Let's do something a bit like that. So then that leads to us doing the coins,
exactly.
Or I like podcasts.
James is a real collector, like of. Well, you can see behind him.
Well, that's Flory's Two-Face one.
Yeah.
So I have a copy of that because I love that.
I don't even have one of those.
It's cool. It's really good.
I've got two. I'll send you one.
There you go. Okay, moving on to our next one, and it's the Prince of Darkness. The Prince of Darkness is, as we mentioned already, something else. Let's put it that way.
I love it.
It's bad shit.
I love it. It's absolutely mental.
So
the devil talking to people through a computer.
Yeah, that's sci-fi horror at its finest. So, before we get into it, how would you rate the movie? Let's hear some numbers.
I give it an 8 out of 10. Solid.
Better than Escape from New York or not?
No, Escape from New York.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
I give Escape from New York a 9. I don't think I scored it. I give it about a 9.
And Prince of Darkness?
This Prince of Darkness, it's tricky because there's parts of this that are better than anything, because it's just so insane. And when you look at how it looks like they had about $10, but they make it go so far, but also not far enough at the same time, which gives it the charm.
And you've got Donald.
I can't go over like going hard. I can't go over like a 7.5.
Okay, and James?
I'd say a solid 6.
Solid 6.
Yeah.
Solid 6. Like Florrie said, it's got some amazing ideas and some amazing concepts, and then there were just some parts that were a little bit.
They like beam the message through their dreams. Like all VHS. It's just so mental. It's awesome. And then there's all the maggots and stuff. And
when that man falls apart.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of?
Made of bugs.
It reminds me. It's as if John Carpenter read Tommyknockers by Stephen King and thought
there's very Stephen King vibes to it, actually.
Yeah, and just thought, how can I make this better? Because Tommyknockers is terrible, but it's got a cool idea, and I think this is like a Carpenter thing, that it's like a fucking cool idea, but on a shoestring budget kind of thing. So it's
also like Quatermass and The Pit.
Yeah.
It's an old school BBC thing. And I think that he's credited as the writer, right, on that film?
Yeah, he credits.
And it's actually John Carpenter that wrote it, but he credited himself as Quatermass because I think it's Prince of Darkness, or is that In the Mouth of Madness?
No, I think
it's like Lovecraftian as well.
Alan Quatermass, is it? He puts his name on.
Written by Martin Quatermass. Music by music. He did the music though.
That's John Carpenter. It's a pseudonym. So. The old Quatermass films where they find like some weird alien remains under London in like a tube station, and they start having psychic effects on people. So it's kind of influenced by that, big time.
And you have also in the print you have also this kind of cityscape in the background like this. Is that kind of like a theme you have going on, because you have a lot of like city backgrounds in those, or like architecture wise?
Yeah, I did. I wanted, because on the first kind of one was the Escape from New York, and that was like the jumping off point. So you want them all to line up. So there's some cool shots in the film of LA. It's like stock footage that they've got, and they just put like an eclipse over it, and it's like really cool, and all the homeless people are like.
I think where it's set is really important to that film too, because it just feels it's like this shouldn't be happening here. We're not in a spooky we're just on the middle of a side street in LA.
And but by the way, we didn't talk about the dimensions of the prints. What dimensions do they come out? By the way, they're all the same size, right?
A2.
A2.
All A2.
Yeah, that's. Does anybody have the inches in there? Like, do they? Or?
It's 42 centimeters by 59.4 centimeters.
Yeah. Okay, people, use.
It's a UK size, basically. It's standard paper size. A4.
Yeah, we all understand it, but Tom's trying to
get the Americans
to understand what the fuck we're talking about. Centimeters.
If anybody's buying these, they should get custom frames.
Exactly.
Anyway.
16.5 inches by 23.4 inches.
Oh, you wanted inches?
Yeah. There we go. It's kind of putting it in line with that A2 open editions line, with the film posters being A2, like the Jaws and the Silent Running and a few of the others that we've got, because it is an easy frameable size in the UK, and the US it's kind of relatively cheap, and EU and everything. Yeah, like your Jaws directly.
The thing is, I totally forgot about that it was A2 size, and I put it in a frame last time because I wanted to have it on just in case, like have the device press wall and the mat wall. And then this is I realized, it's not fitting in an 18 by 24 inch frame. So
I have to say,
IKEA and get some A2s.
On the subject of frames, for anyone in the UK, Prince of Thieves, who printed They Live by Drew Millward, they're starting to make frames. At the moment they're pick-up only, but if you go to the Prince of Thieves store, I think they're starting to ship relatively soon as well, and they're quite nice frames that they do.
Yeah.
And they're good guys as well. They're an independent print house in Leeds, and they're doing a few other bits and bobs as well. So, yeah, go and have a look.
Yeah. In the groups, there's also some other people, if you want to check them out. I think one of them is Tom Chesters. I don't know if he works with them.
Yeah, he's framed some stuff.
Yeah, Tom's really good at framing. We've got a few little bits and bobs by them. By Tom's company, Bay Framing, Tom Chester's framing company is. Highly recommended again. Look, free plugs.
There you go, people. You heard it here. So, But the poster's not the only thing you did, and we're gonna start this time with those cool coins because they are not as in a whole. I'd say they have some cutouts there. And Flory, walk us through those.
Yeah, it's always fun if you can play with the form, play with the shape, play with just make it different. I think we did on one of the Flash coin the Flash Gordon coin has a few cutouts, and when no one objected to that, I was like, sweet, we can do cutouts, we can do whatever shape we want. So just the design I had going lent itself to that shape, and I'm a very clever boy, so I got it to work on both sides.
Nobody doubted it.
We should do a live coin design on one of these one time.
That would be something interesting.
We just choose something, hash it out, and come up with a coin.
But then they'll figure out that we're all fucking terrible and we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be fun.
Yeah, I'll gladly manage that. Last time I did like a life drawing thing. That was kind of fun. But yeah, we could do something together. I don't know if you've seen the Attack Peter ones. He does sometimes some for his sketches, for his lino cuts, and he like has this community thing going on where they where like the community gives some ideas they might want to see, and he like sees if that's a good idea or not, and like puts it in like some I don't know, some rocket launchers on the little like the monster thing he does, and like those ideas, and it was like kind of fun to see how the community comes up with those concepts. And I think why not do a coin together?
Yeah,
that could be quite fun.
I'll do whatever.
But you also have some very cool pins.
Are you hearing a weird click?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Tom, you can edit out stuff.
No.
If we pause.
No. This is all going to be in now. It's all on your end. I don't know. We had it the last time, people, but it's all on your end. There's never a clicking on my end.
What is it?
The Predator's here. It sounds like
No, they're not.
I think it's James.
It's not me.
But yeah,
it's when Tom goes quiet. It stops.
It stops. Yeah. So.
All right, Tom, shut the fuck up. Don't talk anymore.
People hear the clicking. Okay. Getting back on topic, which is the pins you did for Prince of Darkness, Flory, and they come in this the cool cylinder type tube alien thing. And then also we have the Prince of Darkness title treatment, obviously, and they come in a 2-pack.
Yep. I think it's one of we say it's the cult within a cult film. You're not gonna do 16 pins for that, but I think we definitely got the two things that you would want from it. And if I'm not too sure if we did this in the end, but does that glow? Do they glow at all?
It should.
They glow. So they glow in the dark. Those two. So just like the thing in the
that's
film.
sweet.
Yeah.
Does the poster doesn't, right?
No, the posters don't. We
just buy the pins.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, buy the pins, people. It's very cool. You're the coolest person in the disco with your jean jacket. So, Prince of Darkness, very cool movie. We rated it, and let's rate our next movie, which is The Fog. Creepy stuff. James, how about you?
The one that I've seen 1,000 times, and every time I watch it, I go, "Oh, this is the one with the pirates." And then I go halfway through, and I go, "There's no fucking pirates in this."
And then there's some pirates,
lepers.
Yes.
James, how about you start out?
Out of 10, I would say 8. This is one of my favorite ones. What I'll do is I'll caveat this, but I think Halloween is a 10 out of 10 movie. I think The Thing is a 9 out of 10 movie.
No, I think it's 10 out of 10.
You think 10? 10 out of 10? Okay.
11.
If there was such a thing, The Thing is 11. The Thing is his best. Cool.
I think this is 8. I watched The Fog when I was really, really young, and kind of one of those Channel 4 kind of films late at night, and it just and I hadn't until I rewatched it a few years ago. I didn't realize that I'd kind of seen it and remembered it and everything along those lines. And I loved it. I've seen it. That's along with They Live. It's the one that I've probably watched most of, or most often.
Flory, how about you?
Yeah, I put it pretty high. Probably about an 8 or something like that. To me, it's the most a film has ever felt how do I put this? So most of the film has ever felt like a late night horror film that would be showing on a TV in another film. Like it just feels like a late night horror. I don't know why. It's literally just because it's about fog. I think it just has this weird vibe and just like sounds, and it's just great. And the bit at the start with the sort of giving you the thing on the beach, the sort of backstory or whatever. It's just great.
Yeah. Matt, you're.
I got to give it an 8 or a 9. 8. Let's go 8.5 because the budget is what holds it back. Like, I know that obviously he does amazing things on a shoestring budget. And like with Halloween, obviously that really works, but it's because it's just like location shooting and it's just a guy.
2 houses and a man, yeah.
And then, I don't know if you know, but like when they first filmed it and shot it, it wasn't scary enough. So they went back and refilmed a lot of the stuff with the pirates and lepers to make it more like freaky and spooky. So it's kind of like a little bit disjointed because it's kind of got this moody ghost story, like haunting style film. And then it'll just have these really jagged moments of where someone gets like a spike in the back or something. And they just added that in to try and give it more of a vibe of Halloween because they were like, these are the guys that did Halloween. So that's the only downside about it. But the way it's shot is incredible. Like the widescreen compositions of the lighthouse and stuff when she's going to work. It's incredible.
Yeah,
and it's got the best soundtrack as well. It's so cool.
Yeah, we also have some very cool coins and pins again, and we're gonna start with the coins, Flory. How did this happen?
What does this look like? It's the ship on.
What does it look like?
It's the Elizabeth Dane. It's early. Elizabeth Dane and the Antonio Bay flip. So it's kind of like this is the one that I said is a little bit like a commemorative coin if it existed in the world. So you've got the commemorating the 2 dates kind of either end of in the film, you know, like it's the, what is it? It's the 100 200 years.
1980 and 1880.
Yeah, 100 years. And then the flip of that, if you wanted to commemorate a leper ship crashing into
all the gold being stolen.
Yeah. The happier times before the when the ship was more of a, you know, but yeah, that's the basic idea of it. That playing with that 2 sides thing that we're 2 sides of the coin gives you 2 ideas.
Yeah, it's always the 2 sides of the coin. And then we also have some very cool pins, and Six Must Die and the Fog title treatment comes in a double pack, which is really cool. And then we also have the Fog, basically, in that regard. And was that your first choice, or you had some more designs for that, Flory?
I'd say this is probably the trickier one because I think I did the coin first, and that's got the 2 big things. It's got the, you know, the leper boat and the lighthouse, and I just don't want to do a pin of the lighthouse again. So coming up with a few little things from there, but I really like the Captain Lake or whatever his name is coming out of the fog, that pin. It's kind of, I think it might be a little bit bigger than I'm usually allowed to do, which is why it just comes with it by itself, and then just that kind of vibe of it all. I quite like that one. Yeah, Six Must Die is just a cool thing. Like when they find that in the film, I'm like, I gotta have a bit of that. Yeah, and just like the cool. It's got the fog title treatment is one of the coolest. Like again, it's the most like old school cult film title that has maybe ever been. Just like 3 big ass letters. Oh, the fog. So I had to have a pin of that too.
Yeah,
it's just cool.
Do you guys ever watch, or have you ever seen that Curse of Oak Island thing on Discovery? Didn't they kind of, aren't they playing on that whole Six Must Die thing before the treasure is found or something along those lines?
I haven't watched it, but I've seen it's on.
Yeah.
No idea what you're talking about.
Oh my god, it's like
nerds watching bloody Discovery.
10 series of fucking nothing happening, but it's the most compelling ever. But no, it's all right. Bleh.
Too busy watching Queen's Gambit and Mandalorian.
There you go.
I'm too busy scrolling through millions of things and watching nothing because I can't.
Yeah. Speaking of Mandalorian,
Queen's Gambit, mate. Watch watch the Queen's Gambit. It's really
but then I don't get any work done on these things that I'm friggin' making for you.
Did I tell you that the Queen's Gambit, the finale, is basically like 10-minute walk this way?
Yeah, you mentioned. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Are they at the school from Dark was there last week? Are they filming there?
No. It's there's like there used to be because like
it's really cool the finale of Queen's Gambit. It's like Rocky.
Because I live in East Germany basically, or East Berlin when it was, and you can definitely see that in the architecture and everything. And I think that's why they used like a lot of stuff for the Russian like locations. And like in the end, there's some like older people playing chess, like on the street, and that's like right down there. It was like, oh well, yeah, that's right there. I know that place. I've been there.
Does that throw you off? Because whenever anything is either filmed or set here, and it's never here, like the first Ghost Rider with Nicolas Cage was filmed in Melbourne, where I live. I just obviously it's a shit film anyway, but watching it in the cinema, I'm just like, well, that's there. It doesn't look like whatever American city, and the light is different. I always find that is what always.
How do they like? How do you go with like the Matrix then? Is that okay? Because it's like a fake city.
Yes, I think that's why you get, and it was filmed in Sydney, which I'm not as familiar with. But yeah, I think most of the big. Like, when you really think about when they're outside, it's that one time walking down the street with the lady in the red dress, and then all the other bits like they build the freeway or they make a big set or whatever.
Yeah.
But the other one is we were watching The Crown, and they this recent season now, whatever it is, old Prince Charles and Diana go to Australia for a bit. That's not Australia. I don't know where in Africa or
we get the reverse, like the old Peter Jackson movies like The Frighteners and Brain Dead, or it might be Dead Alive in some places. They're like set in like where's The Frighteners meant to be? America?
Yeah.
And it's just not. It's just like it's not. It's just blatantly New Zealand.
I mean, I understand. Like with Queen's Gambit, I see why they're doing it, and I think for a foreigner it looks like that because the architecture kind of like a socialist architecture is going on. So yeah, I get it.
I didn't fuck it. I just thought that's Russia.
Yeah, exactly. So there you have it. And then
what about the people that live in Toronto, like, or whatever? That everything's every show is filmed there. They must get this all the time.
Yeah, and but it's fun though, you know, having to like, you know, go there. Basically, I have like there's this German Instagram page. Her name is like film tourism. Like her name is Anne or something like that, and she basically goes all over the world. And like she always brings like a photo and like holds it into the shot, and then you basically the still from the film is put in, and like she basically made that popular, and she went all over the world and did some cool shots, and I think that's always fun, like having this kind of moment, cool. Like when you actually see something from a movie that you like, and then see it like in real life. But yeah, moving on, that something is in real life and not. It's a hard decision to make there, and it's our last print. They Live, and yeah, you have some really cool colors with this one. I mean, we put like the whole branding is on point with this one.
Yeah. This is where we took the Vice Press logo from. The type for this. That's where the Vice Press logo came from. So
because I did like a sort of copy in the style, because I do that from time to time with our logo. Do it in the font of a thing, and then we just liked it so much we stuck with it.
Yeah. But also the color ways, or for this podcast, we're like on brand here, and this is I think one of the sci-fi. Movies that people really enjoy afterwards. I think it was the box office was kind of good, but afterwards, like all the critics were like really down on it, right? Was it this one? I don't remember.
Well, it was like ahead of its time, like a lot of John Carpenter movies. It's quite prescient and like the themes of it now, especially now with the way advertising and marketing online anyway is. So in your face, but kind of trying not to be. It's kind of got that corporate, but the fact that they're just like, evil corporations is just aliens is just brilliant. I think it's probably one of his most underrated movies.
I think so too.
People love it, but they don't think it's a classic. They just think it's like a cheat because of the fight and stuff. But
yeah, the fight and the goofy.
A lot better than it's given credit for.
Yeah.
It almost lets it down. Like even that is brilliant. Like you go watch this film and then wait until halfway through. But a lot of people can't. Like you say, the critics were down on it or whatever. They're wearing rubber masks and their mouths don't move. But it's not about, as with most of his films, you've got to look past stuff, I think, to really get the most out of it. And if you can't do that, you're just not going to be into it, and you won't get all that stuff that is so brilliant about it.
Yeah. How
when they're all just looking at him.
Yeah.
How are we going to rate that movie?
I give it a 9.
Flory?
8.5.
James?
I was going to say 8.5.
It's okay. You can go with 8.5.
7.5.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
Are we even
blinded
allowed
by
art
Love by
halves?
John Carpenter. I like Elvis the movie, so
There you go. But that's not all we have for They Live, obviously. We have some very cool coins and some cool pins, and we're going to start out with the pins. And we have the mask, basically, or like the face that is very memorable that we can see behind James in the background there. And you had to pick that, Flory, right?
No, you got to do it. It's the thing from apart from the obey, like, it's the thing from the film.
yeah.
And being able to do the two versions, there's a black and white
exactly.
version, the bright pink, bright blue version, which is fun. I think people might have seen these ones before. Are they?
Yeah, we released them with Drew's as well. So they're the same pins, but because they were really popular and we kind of sold through. We got new back, so the set's consistent. So anybody that
more
wants
pins
to
made because people love They Live.
yeah,
They do.
These are great.
It's cool.
They do. And
They kind of set the tone for the other pins as well, didn't they? Because we did them first.
we did.
And we were like, like doing the title.
The title, yeah.
Well, the original idea was we weren't thinking about re-releasing Matt's posters. We'd got the They Live contract license back, because I'd got it specifically because we wanted Drew to do it, and we got another one added on to it for the sake of it. So we asked Flory to do the pins and a coin because we kind of threw that in. I think it was the first idea we had to do for a coin was They Live. That came before Flash Gordon.
It just makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, and we had that kind of whole idea behind it, and then we kind of thought, well, why don't we just do all of them again? And then, like obviously Tom Whalen did The Thing as well, and hopefully Tom's going to do some more Carpenter prints as well, and Flory's got a couple of ideas as well. I mean, Flory's idea is really cool.
I've done The Thing as well in this style with these posters.
Yeah.
But, likeness issues.
We've got likeness issues on that with Kurt Russell, so hopefully we might be able to. It's in a similar situation to
the
whole
poster that Flory's working on for The Thing is really good.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Okay.
It's cool. Little
People love his Jaws poster. I think this one could be.
that's
very easy.
Maybe another Matt will like it. we never want to get into that, I guess.
Yeah. So we're gonna, over the next.
Our hearts all aflutter.
Flory's Jaws poster is amazing.
Let's have another episode where we talk about how good I am. I like that line.
So this is it. This is going to be the last open channel with Flory until he finishes They Live. He's not allowed back until he does They Live.
They Live to do as well.
Let's force him. Let's force him.
Lots of. If we did that, if we didn't have enough,
I was talking about, not They Live.
Oh, I was.
Well, now you've blown that as well.
Oh yeah, he's doing The Thing, which is really good.
Yep.
Yeah, they're both really.
Also, what's really
just assume I'm doing everything. Just assume I'm doing everything eventually.
Also,
well, you've got good now, so you're making good posters. So we're gonna hire you, aren't we?
Okay.
There we go. You just got to get good, everyone. To those artists out there who want to work with Vice Press,
I say this every time, don't I?
Just do it for 5 years. Just do it for 5 years, then get good, and then they'll hire you.
That's how it works, people. And also some good stuff that Flory did was They Live, We Sleep. Very cool pins. If you combine them, it looks very cool on the jean jacket. Let me tell you. And then also the very cool glasses. Love the glasses and the consume and as a pin there, which is really cool. So definitely some cool pins. I think
I think this is the film that has the visuals that. Remember, I was saying before that there's some of them that they don't have little iconic things to pull out for pins and stuff. This is the film that has
exactly.
Those
just want to say that
these were easy, like just bang, like that's what you were doing, and there was no argument. I don't think.
Graphic.
But also, as I mentioned, we have some cool coins that you might have spotted in our little intro video. So check them out here in their full glory. I mean, these were easy to do as well, right?
Oh, it's all easy. Forget what I said earlier about having trouble. This was another one that we did quite a long time. Probably the first coin that I did for these guys. It's just once the idea is there, just off we go.
Off we go.
It just felt. I think at some point I wanted to do, like a banknote or something like that. And it's just something that and I think it's been done since, but it was just an idea that I must have had millions of years ago. You know, where you change the face. I think it's probably been done a bunch of times now, but just having that in your head and then coming around to a coin and going, oh yeah, you got the face side, you got the, the subliminal message, or the message going out that you can't see on the flip side, all that sort of stuff. Once again, the two sides kind of dictate the idea, and off we go.
And before we're gonna go, I wanted to know which is your favorite John Carpenter movie. But see, I forgot some pins. I forgot this one pin we did, obviously for the man himself. It's just a John Carpenter's.
Oh yeah,
the chaser pin,
the best pin.
Exactly, very easy one, but you can always have this one and exchange it with all the cool other ones you have. So
you can just put it above the title. So if you get one of the other ones if you get They Live, you put John Carpenter's above it, and it's like you've got the proper title of the film.
I actually just want a black T-shirt that just says John Carpenter's on it, and that's it.
But
we should do that sometime.
There you go.
That'd be quite cool.
I like that one that Last Exit do for the thing, which just says Antarctica 1982.
Yeah,
those are the best shirts. I like
that. It's just wicked. Yeah. People are like, what?
I do like that John Carpenter, just black T-shirt, white writing, just the same as the pen. I'm sure
Albertus, it's a really nice font that he uses.
So
yeah, that chaser pin is going to be available if somebody buys. We'll have the option to buy all of the pins together as one pack, and if somebody does that, they'll get that chaser John Carpenter pin, and any that's left, we'll kind of just chuck in randomly where we kind of see fit.
There you go, some mystery stuff, people. So you better get on it and save yourself one of the pins before they're all gone. But as I said, before we are gone, I wanted to know, what is your favorite John Carpenter movie? We're going to start out with James, and let us know also why it is that favorite movie.
I would say Memoirs of an Invisible... No, it's not at all. It's... I only learned recently that was a John Carpenter film. I used to watch that when I was a kid. Halloween. I kind of... There's very few... that's shirts. Is that... I can't remember the name of the
company. Co. I think Matty Tobin did it.
Oh, okay.
That's really cool. It's one of there's very few films, I think, that have got no flab in them whatsoever, that are just kind of an hour and a half, that just don't need anything cutting out. I think there's Back to the Future. I think you've got Jaws, that's the same as well. I think Halloween, it's just
Halloween is Jaws, isn't it, really?
Yeah. It kind of follows that same model, isn't it? There's nothing in there that doesn't need to be in there. Everything that needs to be in there is. It's just cool. I like it. It's a very good film, and it's you can just watch it. It's
infinitely rewatchable,
timeless, as well.
It is. It's an amazing movie.
And Flory, are you having the same opinion?
Or
who are you going to go with?
As much as I probably watch Halloween more, just because you watch it every year on Halloween or whatever, and it is an easier watch. I pretty much know it off by heart, but I think my favorite film is The Thing. It's a perfect film. There's nothing in there that doesn't need to be. It's tight. The setting is awesome. The vibe from the outset is awesome. The music is awesome. The creature effects are probably maybe the best that have ever been done. Like it's just even the design of them. Like okay, it's an alien thing, but that bizarre shooting out of the red things and the grabbing of the stuff and the this
yeah, like sounds horrible.
It's just so every single thing about it is awesome.
Yes,
and I love it.
Matt, what are you going with?
Well, so like John Carpenter was on like the craziest run of like any director ever, from Halloween. You could say arguably Assault on Precinct 13 as well.
Yeah, that's a really good movie.
Yeah, it's a good film.
And Dark Star is actually really good and influential as well. But anyway, I digress. The run from there up until They Live, even later, Prince of Darkness, always Prince of Darkness before. Anyway, until the end of the 80s, is just ridiculous levels of quality. There's no other director that has been that consistent, I don't think. Apart from maybe some of the classic old school directors like that influenced John Carpenter, like the Western guys and stuff. But for me, it's Escape from New York, just because I just love the concept. I just love it.
Yeah.
And I just think it's brilliant. It's got goofy stuff in it. And it probably would be The Thing, but that's my mum's favourite film. So I'm always like, whatever, Mum. Escape from New York's better.
Muriel's wedding.
Technically, The Thing is peak Carpenter. It's just like you say, it's perfect. But then again, Halloween is peak Carpenter, and I think Escape from New York is peak Carpenter. So
Halloween is like you
amazing.
knocked it off. Halloween is like when you've come out of the gate and you're like boom, and you've just nailed it almost by accident. And there's still some things in there that are, he had the goofy the shitty acting and stuff like that. But it works because it is the slasher film, like it set that stuff. Whereas I think the Thing is the other peak. If you had two mountains or something, I don't know, but it's a different peak. Like all the acting is brilliant, everyone in it is brilliant. You know what I mean? Like they're two. If we were doing a coin, there might be two sides of his coin. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's something for your poster.
Yeah, double-sided posters. There we go. Two different things.
Yeah. I have to say, when it comes for me, I love all the films that we mentioned, but I think my favorite is Big Trouble in Little China.
I knew it was going to be Big Trouble in Little China.
Yep, it's such a.
That's a brilliant movie. Weird.
Such a weird, goofy adventure movie. Loved it. And Kurt Russell also in there. I mean, a close second is Escape from New York. So definitely very cool stuff. Really enjoying it. And Lo Pan, man. I love Lo Pan.
It is amazing. What I love about that film is Kurt Russell isn't the hero. He's like the bumbling idiot. Yeah. He's technically the sidekick. The hero is Wang. So it's just awesome. Yeah.
It's funny because that film I don't always think about it as a John Carpenter film, oddly enough. I think about it as like Kurt Russell's best film. Like one of his best. Like it's just a great performance. He's such a fucking idiot. But he's so good. I did a side note, I did a poster for Big Trouble in Little China a few years ago, and it never came out because of the man with the lipstick and the big cool hair. But
a good thing you can do with that movie is watch it with the commentary. The commentary with Kurt Russell and John Carpenter is hilarious because they're basically just taking the piss the whole time, and Kurt Russell is just laughing, and they obviously just loved making that movie. It's one of the best commentaries I've ever watched.
Yeah, but speaking of Carpenter and doing great stuff, you've been doing great stuff for Vice Press, and you people better check it out. James, do we have some surprises for the people in the chat, or?
I guess this is Monday now, isn't it? I guess I best give you a pre-sale link that will be in the comments about now.
Clickety click.
Pre-sale, boom.
Clickety click.
There it is.
It just happened.
Whoa,
boom.
Amazing. Nobody's bought any.
In 4 seconds.
But yeah, so that's definitely something to look forward to. So people, you better enjoy that while it lasts. And when can we have the next open channel?
I would like us to do. It'd be fun to do a Christmas one, wouldn't it?
Like a retrospective of this wonderful year, 2020. It's been
that
great.
Would be nice.
It's just been a classic, wonderful year.
Can we have a fourth camera that's just on like a oil drum that's just burning with bums standing around it? Like
that's 2020.
Yeah, what was your best bit of 2020? Well, mine was brain surgery. I think a Christmas one we can get. Should we try and get a few other guests? Maybe I think there's a few artists that we can invite over.
Santa Claus, anyone?
No.
I hear he's busy Christmas.
Yeah. But I mean, maybe he has like FaceTime or whatever. Like, get his phone out and we can get him via Skype. Just depends on the connection.
Yeah.
Never know. He's constantly changing cell towers as he flies.
That could be a problem.
1 million miles per hour.
But yeah, so Christmas edition. We don't have an actual date yet, but people stay on the lookout for that. We will tease it, obviously, and we will have something cool for you. So tune in next time when we're gonna talk about Santa Claus and his little helpers, and with Matt, James, Flory, and some other cool guests we have along the way. So see you then, guys. Take care. Bye bye.
Cheers, everyone.